friends, it is a smoldering hot day in Oklahoma, and Sunday afternoon after church, and I thought I'm gonna build me a few more of them float noodles. And on my Facebook page, I showed y'all one I built the other day. I have a video coming out where I used it for the first time. Of course, I use them more regularly. There's different ways you can do this. If you look on Facebook, you'll see different ways. I'm not sure who come up with this. It may be a guy that goes by Muddy River Catfish on YouTube. I think he may have been the one that started these pool noodle floats. They're really cool. So I'm going to show you what I got here. Okay, I'm going to take this down. I'm not really dressed for this. So I've got, let's see, bend that down just a little bit more for you. Okay, so what I've got, these are the bigger round pool noodles. That's what I like the best. And I'm using different colors. I just kind of like to keep up with it that way. So I've got this one. It's cut about 1 foot long. This one's probably about 14 inches long, this yellow one. And then I've had some small pool noodles, okay? So I'm gonna take these two pieces and I'm gonna put them together and make a pool noodle, make kind of neat out there. So what you need to get started is I use this Gorilla epoxy. I've really liked it as far as putting my parts in there. The glue, it holds really well. It's been successful for me on the ones I've been using for all this year now, okay? So this 2-part Gorilla epoxy is pretty good stuff. Get that at the dollar store, wherever, same place you get your noodles, probably, Walmart. Now today, I'm going to use a little Gorilla glue because I don't have enough epoxy left to put all the parts in, okay? So I'm going to use this Gorilla glue for my top end cap that doesn't really have any pressure. It just kind of seals that top end. The other thing you need, now I've been using these. They're just a little self-tapping screw. I think it's a number 8 by 1 1/4. It depends on what you use. I've got a little drill bit here. I like to drill through before I start that self-tapping screw. Because what you're going to do, and today this is what I'm using for, this is all I can find at Home Depot. This isn't my preferred plugs. I like the gray flex pipe plugs that you find. I know that Lowe's carry them in the town that I work in. Go back there in the lawn and garden section and some of that flexible pipe. But the bottoms, I'm using this as the bottoms. This is a 1 inch converted to a 1/2 inch, I think. I'll pre-drill that hole through there before I put my self-tapping screw in there, just make it easy, make a guide for me. And since I'm just having to hold it to screw it in to keep me from, hopefully, from that slipping and maybe jobbing me and hurting me, okay? So what I'll do, and I've also got, I've got my swivels here. I put these on there, and I'll run that, when I run that screw through there, I run it through just like that. So I'll drill it, let me pull that off. See that number 8 fits just right in a swivel, okay? So when I run this through here, when it gets partially out there, I'll put that swivel through, and I'll take my drill and I'll screw it the rest of the way through, okay? And that's going to be where you connect that, whoops, excuse me just a second here. It's a little tougher because I'm using this kind of a plug, okay? So that's going to allow me, either I can connect without using this part, my sinker slide, which is just a slide and swivel, to hook there, or I can hook it right there, either one, okay? And that's how you hold these noodles on your line. It's by what they call a sinker slide. And basically what it is, it's a piece of plastic formed, or hard plastic, that has a big swivel on the end of it. And you would put what I do is I put a bead, a sinker slide, another bead, and then I tie my swivel on, okay? And so then this would connect that swivel slide. You would put your bobber stop knot up here on your line up higher, and you could adjust that up and down to the depth you want. So, you could have that sinker slide would slide this noodle up to 2 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot, wherever you want it, according to where you put your bobber stop on your line, okay? So one day maybe I'll make a video that shows kind of the after effects more so. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I will take this and I'll put it right there in that end, okay? And then on the top side, I just got a regular 1-inch plugs. These could have used 3/4 inch plugs for PVC parts. 1 inch on the gray works good, but I'll make these work, okay? So let me get to work here, and I'll come back and show you what I've done. All right, guys. See, I've got the plugs now. Like I said, I'm doing Gorilla Glue this time. I've never used that before. I normally use the 2-part epoxy on all of this, but I'm pretty limited on my epoxy, so I want to make sure that I get these main. Let's see, where'd the one go? These bottom plugs, I certainly want them epoxy in because they're going to be the thing that has the pressure on them. So I plugged that. I plugged the yellow one. I plugged the green one. Now, one thing I always do is I stick the plugs in first and get them good and water, make sure they'll fit. Now, you may wonder how you're putting these together because I'm doing 2. Well, I've just got a little piece of 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch PVC there. Yeah. So I'm just going to kind of get my glue here. I'm going to glue it all over this, and I'm going to put it all over this, right around that edge especially. See? So, water that in. So stick it up there, put it together, smash it good so it kind of levels them edges out. There we go. That orange is just a little bit bigger than that green. That will set and dry, okay? So, we've got that much done. Now, I've pre-drilled my holes in each of these, on this one too. So I'm going to take my screw gun and I'm going to stick it in there. You probably can't see. Turn it up just a little bit for you. Okay, just pretty simple. Whoops. That's why you want to do that, is because even when you're starting it, that little bitty drill bit I'm using, it's still come on. Okay, now got it started. See, it's just a little bit crooked. I'm going to back it out and fill in again. Get it quite the ways in, but not quite all the way through. I'll take my swivel here, okay? I'm going to stick that swivel in there, stick it. See how I've stuck that on that? Now that'll allow me to come right here. There you go. Perfect. Just like that, okay? So, try to keep them sticking together. So the next thing I'm going to do is I will epoxy that and I will stick it in the end, okay? So I'll be back when I've got them in. Okay guys, I've mixed up my epoxy. I've done this one already and my little one. Basically all you do is you get that epoxy mixed up. What I do is I put a little on the inside here, around that good. Then I take my, whatever, my plug I'm going to use. See, I'm just down, and I try to coat it pretty good with that epoxy, because this is where all your pressure is going to be, okay? Now you want to be careful not to get it outside of that, not to get it on your swivel. Just stick it in there, give it a twist, kind of get it all smooth and good. Just that simple. Now, there you have it. Now the one thing I would suggest, if you're gonna use your wife's dinner table for making your fishing projects, I would suggest you put a towel down or cardboard or something to keep from getting any kind of epoxy or any kind of thing like that on it. Keep it clean as you can. You don't want to mess up your relationship with your wife, because that'll sure mess up your fishing. Take care of your wife's stuff while you're doing this, okay? So these are just a simple float noodle, but man, they're a lot of fun to fish with. Man, you can put a big old live bait on there and he won't sink it. And it takes a pretty good fish to pull it plumb under, I guarantee you. And boy, when they take it and that thing is shooting across the water, it's pretty cool.